Let's get started now with today's news. The leaders of North and South Korea are saying there will be a formal end to the Korean War later this year. North Korean leader Kim Jong-un crossed the heavily armed border of a divided Korean peninsula to meet South Korea's President Moon Jae-in. The historic summit is largely focused on the North's nuclear weapons arsenal. The meeting is a precursor to President Trump's planned talks with the North in coming weeks. And the Golden State Killer is scheduled to make his first court appearance today. Joseph James DeAngelo is expected to face charges for 12 murders, and he's also the suspect in more than 50 rapes dating back decades. Prosecutors revealed they used DNA collected from a crime scene and compared it with genealogy websites in order to catch DeAngelo. On the campaign trail, Montana's 4 Republican U.S. Senate candidates squared off Thursday night in Helena in what could be the last full-fledged debate before the primary election on June 5th. The debate was not without some charges and countercharges between at least 2 of the candidates.
Out-of-state endorsements are troubling to me, especially one as radical as Steve Bannon, who supports Matt. I mean, this is a person who President Trump said has lost his mind. He called President Bush the most disastrous president the United States has ever had, and this is on the heels of President Trump. And yet Steve Bannon is all in for Matt.
I think that my agenda has been very clearly defined over the last 6 or 7 years that I've served the people in Montana in the legislature and as the state auditor very effectively. If you see, I've brought together some very diverse groups.
Russ Fagg of Billings took after Matt Rosendale several times during the 90-minute debate. Fagg, Rosendale, Troy Downing, and Al Olszewski of Kalispell are competing for the GOP nomination to challenge Democratic U.S. Senator Jon Tester this fall. The Greater Montana Foundation sponsored the debate, which featured a panel of journalists asking questions of the 4 candidates. Fagg said he's the best person to take on Tester because of his Montana roots and strong conservative credentials. But Rosendale said he has the support of many national-level conservatives along with Montanans, and that both are needed to beat Tester. Olszewski said while he may be the dark horse candidate, don't count him out just because he doesn't have the most campaign money. And Downing, a vocal supporter of President Trump, said he doesn't think the president will be a liability for GOP candidates this fall.
So what I see is a president right now who is putting America first, is allowing businesses to thrive, which allows people to thrive and allows our kids to build their dreams.
You know, this race isn't about endorsements. It's not about money. It's about the message. And I believe I'm the one up here that has the best message.
The 5 Democratic U.S. House candidates will debate next week in Helena. The Yellowstone County Sheriff's Office now says the woman whose body was found in the Yellowstone River was injured before her death. Sheriff Mike Linder is asking the public to come forward with any information about the death of 42-year-old Harriet Wilson. They're also looking for information on where she was in the days and hours before her death. Wilson's body was found Sunday afternoon in the river near Two Moon Park. Sheriff Linder notes that all suspicious deaths are investigated as homicides to err on the side of caution. If you have any information, you can stop by the sheriff's office or call them at 256-2929. Today is the day U.S. Attorney General Jeff Sessions makes a stop in Billings to meet with community leaders, local law enforcement, and healthcare professionals who deal with the growing drug crisis. Montana U.S. Attorney Kurt Alme says Sessions' trip to Billings comes at a time when drug use, specifically opioids and meth, are at an all-time high.
It's here and it's growing. We have over 100 overdose deaths every year in Montana. I think in 2015 we learned that almost 20% of high school juniors and seniors had tried a prescription painkiller that wasn't prescribed to them. And those are the pills that are prescribed. Then we also have drug trafficking organizations that are bringing things like heroin, fentanyl into the state. We saw a tripling of arrests related to heroin between 2014 and 2016.
The latest numbers show drug overdoses are now the 3rd leading cause of injury-related deaths in Montana. Since 2000, the rate of prescription drug overdose deaths here has doubled, with more than 700 deaths from prescription opioid overdoses alone. Attorney General Sessions is expected to speak for about half an hour this afternoon to an invitation-only group at the Rimrock Foundation. We'll have full coverage tonight on your Q2 Evening News.